All right, now it's time for us to learn to draw some more complex paths. And we're going to learn a few keyboard shortcuts as well because we need to figure out how to quickly convert a curved path to a corner point and how to split direction lines. So I'm going to zoom in using Command plus down to these more complex paths using the spacebar in order to reposition the image. I want to start a new path, so I'm going to click off of Path 3 in the Paths panel. Now I'll click once just to start my path at the first solid black anchor point. And then I'm going to click on the second black square. To add another anchor point in the middle, I'll click again. I'll hold down that Command key in order to swap to the Direct Selection tool, and then I'll reposition that. Now if I want to turn this into a corner point, I can switch tools and select the Corner Point tool, and then click on the anchor point. With the corner point tool still selected, I can click and drag out in order to convert it back to a curved point. But I can also do that without leaving the pen tool. So I'll select the pen tool again. This time I'll hold down the Option key. As I hold down the Option key, we get that same icon for the Convert Point tool. So I can click in order to convert it. And then again, still with the Option key down on the Mac or the Alt key down on Windows, I can click to drag. If I click and drag the other way, I'm going to get a loop. So I'll click and drag to the right. Then I want to finish this path, so I'll hold down the Command key and just click to the right. I'll use the spacebar in order to move over to this little speed bump that I want to draw. I'll click once in order to start the path, and then click again in order to draw the straight line segment. Then I need to click and drag up in order to start the next curve. So I'll just click and drag up, and you'll notice that there's only one direction line moving in the upward direction. There isn't one on the other side here. I'll hold down the Shift key and then release the cursor. Now I'm going to click and drag down. Again, I can hold down the Shift key in order to make that a vertical line. Now, in order to change the direction here, well, I guess I could click in here and then make changes to the direction line. That's going to be much less convenient. So I'll use Command Z in order to undo that. And instead, I'll Option click on the anchor point, and that's going to remove that bottom direction line. Then I can simply click on the anchor point to the right in order to finish that straight line. All right, I'll use the Command key in order to end that path, hold down the spacebar, and then scoot over to this shape of the heart. Before I start drawing, let's go ahead and save that work path, and then click off of it to start a new path. I'll click and drag up in order to start my path in the upward direction, and then click and drag down. But I don't want to hold down the Shift key this time. I actually want to put it at more of an angle. But now, if I click on the next point, I'm really not going to get what I want. So let's undo that, and I need to figure out how to break this and then drag it in the other direction. So again, I'll hold down the Option key, click on the anchor point, and then drag to start the direction of the next curve. I'll click on the anchor point and then drag down, holding down the Shift key. Click again at the base of the heart, and click one more time in order to close the path. If you need to make any changes, you can hold down the Command key and then select any of the anchor points and reposition as necessary. I'll undo that. So while you can always switch back and forth between the pen tool and the path select and the direct select to select different anchor points, and you can switch from the pen tool to the convert point tool, I find that knowing that the Option key will give me the Convert Point tool and the Command key will automatically give me one of the selection tools makes it much more efficient to use those shortcuts while drawing paths in Photoshop.